Who is Monique Joseph?
That's a great question. So I am 4'11", Houston native. I start with 4'11" because people are always blown away when they see me in person. They usually meet me virtually over the phone first, and then they see how small I am, and they're blown away by my size. So I'll introduce myself as small but mighty, Monique, born and raised in Houston. I graduated from Klein Forest in 2006 and went on to Bible college. I went to Moody Bible Institute and thought I'd become a women's minister. Eventually, God led me down a path that allowed me to draw blood at Houston Methodist Hospital for 5 years. I was a phlebotomist. I loved that work. And then my ex-husband was wrongfully convicted of a crime he didn't commit and sentenced to 45 years. We had 3 children, and I just knew that I had to do something to ensure that my sons weren't, selected and singled out by the system. And so I started doing criminal justice work. And that kind of sums up what I'm doing now, is just trying to implement reforms in the system that allow for healing and true safety for our communities.
Thank you for that. And when I first met you, you were giving a presentation on restoring justice, and you mentioned, that story about your ex-husband being wrongly convicted, and that leading you to the work that you do. But can you tell us a little more about that? Because a lot of people have loved ones who have been wrongly convicted, but they don't turn around and give their life to this work. What was it about you that said, this is what I need to do?
Again, I'm small, I'm a Black woman. I can be kind of meek and timid. And so I've had to kind of develop a voice for myself. And I knew that I wanted to develop that voice and use it to help others. And so I just didn't know how. And when this situation came up, I thought I would just do it on the side, kind of advocating and using my voice on the side. And I actually started doing healing circles in the community. We did them at a coffee shop in 3rd Ward. And that turned into something that was highly, likable in the community. A lot of people liked it. And so that kind of led me down into restorative practices at Restorative Justice and doing healing circles and hopefully getting those implemented into Harris County's justice system at some point.
What's the most rewarding part of what you do?
Oh man, it's actually the exact opposite of that. We have done these things called freedom parties here at Restoring Justice, where we get to post bail for a bunch of folks and get them out of jail, and then we invite their families, and then we have a huge party with resources and connecting them with aftercare support, so people in the community that can help walk them through rebuilding. And honestly, Mr. Walker, is seeing people hug their families when they get out of jail and they're completely filthy, their clothes barely fit, but they embrace their mother, their sister, their child. I will continue doing this work for the rest of my life if I can continue to see that, if I can continue to see families hugging and touching again and getting another shot at trying to thrive and really survive. So those are the days we're like, can we get a picture please so we can remember this? Because it's so many bad days. We do have a lot of days where the court system is just so bad. These judges that go to our churches, these prosecutors that go to our churches, they're inflicting so much harm. So those days that we get to see that love and that reunification, that's what keeps me going.
How can people, individuals, organizations help? What can folk do?
Yeah, there's several ways. So the first way, the biggest way to help, if you're able, is financial help. We are grassroots. We don't take money from certain sources if we believe that money is corrupt and not gonna let us do the work the way we know it needs to be done. So we could always take donations. The second thing is volunteers. We often need volunteers to help with. We have a small team, and so we always have volunteers that go and meet with other folks in the jail that are stuck with bad counsel. We have volunteer opportunities to help us with fundraising, volunteer to help us with social media, different things like that. And then the last thing I always suggest is to do something wherever you are. You don't have to work in criminal justice reform to stand up for equity and justice. You can do that no matter where God places you. It just takes some educating yourself, understanding the issues, and then being bold enough to stand up and speak on them when they happen.